All right, everybody, welcome into another edition of High Noon. That's right, the Monday through Friday stream that brings you all the day's news, headlines, hot topics, current events, trends, headlines. I said that. Whatever it is that's happening in the world today, I try and bring it to you here at noon every Monday through Friday. Today, Columbus Day. Oh, geez. Oh, it ain't Columbus Day. Sorry about that. We officially changed it. Today is Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus Day rolls a little bit better than Indigenous Peoples Day. So because it's Indigenous Peoples Day, not a whole lot of news going on. Not a whole lot of big stories. So we're going to run through what we have. And, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get to 2 hours today. I'm just saying. All right, who's here? Everybody, come one, come all. That's the other thing. I expect this to be a very flat chat room today. I expect the show to be very, very... People are out of their ruts. People get into ruts, and there are habits that they form, and there are things that they do when they are in their routine. Today's a day where people are outside their routine. Heck, word is around here at the fancy 1%er compound where I reside. Word is we're going to the lake, or at least somebody is. I don't think I am. I don't know. We are experiencing a very, what is the temperature today? I can't tell. I still got the air on, so I know that that's a thing. We need the air on, but all weekend long, I have the windows open. I was airing this place out. Oh, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful fall weekend that we had. And now it's 84 degrees. It's 84 degrees right now at high noon. Probably going to get a little bit. I don't think 84 degrees. I don't want to go to the lake at 84. I'm spoiled. I'm used to going to the lake when it's 110, right? So now when you go to the lake and it's 84, it's probably not going to be like bathwater. All right, whatever. We'll get through it. We're going to do the show. We got Byron here. Hi, Byron. We got April. We got Taronda. We got Leslie. We got Jeff. We got the other Jeff. Okay, people are showing up. Just not... I just don't expect it to be the blockbuster show that we typically have. Why? Because kids are home. Because people are doing other things. All right, let's get into it. High noon. What do we do here? Well, as I said, I consider the show a bit of a cheat sheet for you. It's everything you need to know about today so that you just have a little bit of what I like to call cocktail party knowledge of the world. What is cocktail party knowledge? Well, it's a term that was coined by my partner, Kelly, years ago. And it was her little skill set that she had, which allowed her to move throughout a cocktail party. All the different groups of people. Doesn't matter what they do for a living. She felt that she possessed an ability to at least hang with any group at a cocktail party and know just enough about what they're talking about to make a slight contribution and then move on. You just you're hanging out with a bunch of people who work for the NASA, right? So you walk up and you don't know nothing about NASA, but here's what you know. You know that there's a Houston and you know that there's a Florida. So here's what you say. Here's cocktail party knowledge. Oh, that's fascinating. NASA. Are you in Houston or are you in Florida? Well, I'm in Florida now, but I'm getting ready to transfer to Houston. That's wonderful. Thank you for coming to the party. And then you move on to the next group. That's what this show is. We just give you a little bit. I'm not going to tell you everything, but just so that you know, so that nobody blindsides you. All right, let's get started. It is high noon on the 10th day of October, 10/10/22. October 10th is the 283rd day of the year. There are 82 days remaining until the end of the year. On this day in 1492, you know what's coming? On this day what happened in 1492? Name one thing that happened in 1492. Well, Columbus, right? But why? What happened on this day? Today happens to be Columbus Day, but what happened on this day in 1492? Well, I'll tell you. The crew of Christopher Columbus's ship, the Santa Maria, attempts a mutiny. Wasn't what you thought, did you? You thought Columbus sets foot on Florida or whatever. Nope. Mutiny. What were the ships? Quick, from your childhood, name the ships. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. On this day in 1780, the Great Hurricane of 1780 struck the Caribbean. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know Category 5. They don't know from Category 5. It's 1780. But it killed 30,000 people. It killed 30,000 people. Oh, my God. I mean, now, like, the worst hurricanes, they come through 100, 200, hundreds is what we look at in the death toll. No warning, no nothing. They were probably having their autumnal festival or ritual on the beach when this storm rolled through. 30,000 people in 1780, the great hurricane of 1780. On this day in 1928, Chiang Kai-shek becomes the chairman of the Republican Chiang Kai-shek became the chairman of the Republic of China. This is very, if you're into your Chinese politics of the era, are you more of a Maoist? Are you more of like a Mao Zedongist or a Maoist, or are you a Chiang Kai-shek guy? Are you a Sheki? Are you a Maoist or a Sheki? That's a question you're going to have to answer in your most dark, intimate moments. 1985, on this day, the U.S. Navy aircraft. A U.S. Navy aircraft intercepts an Egyptian airliner carrying the perpetrators of the Achille Laurel hijacking and force it to land in Italy. We learned about the Achille Laurel last week because it was the anniversary of the hijacking of the Achille Laurel cruise ship, where it was a bunch of Palestinian PLO. Actually, they weren't even PLO guys. They were, at that point, they were called the Palestinian Liberation Front, I think. And then they would later become the organization. They'd get organized. They'd have a meeting or two. And they took over this Italian cruise. Was it an Italian cruise? I don't even know. Achille Laurel. It sounds like it might be. But they took over this cruise ship and they started killing people. And the first person to go, American Leon Klinghoffer. And it was on this day that those guys thought they were getting away, and then U.S. Navy aircraft forced them. Whatever, you can look it up. It's a Wikipedia page. It's interesting. On this day in 2002, the Iraq War. The United States Congress approves the authorization for use of military force against Iraq in a resolution of 2002. This is the weapons of mass destruction, 2002, 20 years ago. 20 years ago today, it was the whole weapons of mass destruction. Remember when they pimped out Colin Powell and they made him go to the UN and hold up all those fake charts and stuff? Why are you being political? Not being political. It's not political. It's 20 years ago. We know the facts. You either choose to agree with them or disagree with them. But, what is it they say? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. We now know that was a complete charade. The weapons of mass destruction. We went into a war with Iraq, and we should have been focusing on Afghanistan. That's what I think. I think maybe if we had just completely focused on Afghanistan and the true perpetrators of 9/11, which meant we would have had to deal with the Saudis, maybe, it wouldn't have taken 20 years or whatever it was for us to finally get out of that godforsaken part of the world. But we didn't. We were there. It was convenient. So we decided, while we're here, let's also, and you remember, like, some of you were actually like thinking that Iraq had something to do with 9/11. You all did. Some of you probably still do. You're like, Saddam Hussein. No. All right. What else happened here? On this date in 2008, here we go. I've been fighting them. I knew they were coming. Hiccups. I felt them about 5 minutes ago start. Let's just get into a regular breathing pattern so that the hiccups go away naturally. It was on this day, and I'll have to speak like this too. It was on this day in 2018, Hurricane Michael made landfall in the Florida Panhandle. Catastrophic Category 5 hurricane kills 57 people, 45 of them in Florida. I guess 57 people in the United States, 45 in Florida. What's the rest? Alabama, I guess, and causes an estimated $25.1 billion in damage. Now, the reason. Well, I mean, obviously, it's a big story. 2018, it's just 4 years ago. Any of you people remember Hurricane Michael? I don't remember Hurricane Michael. I don't remember. This seems like a big one, a Category 5. I mean, are we going to forget about this? What was the name of the one that we just had? Hurricane Lonnie or something? What was it? What was the name? What was the name of the hurricane we just had? I don't even know. Ian? Was it Ian or Liam? I don't know. Whatever. See, there is no way. I don't remember a Category 5 that killed 57 people that did $25.1 billion in damage. It was just 4 years ago. There is no way I'm going to remember Hurricane Dontrell or whatever the one was that just came through. I don't know its name. What was its name? Ian? It was Ian. Okay, thank you. Let's do some birthdays. Let's run through some birthdays. As I still battle back the hiccups, which are just not giving up. They are down there. They are trying to disrupt my breathing rhythm. No, this isn't fun. I hate this. I can't imagine how it is for you. Maybe it's worse for me than it is for you. I don't know. Let's do some birthdays. Let's see here. Born on this day in 1924, Ed Wood, American actor, director, producer, screenwriter. Don't know anything about him. Just know Johnny Depp played him in a movie where he wore a dress. Moving on. Born on this day in 1933, Jay Sebring. Jay Sebring was an American hairstylist and businessman. He died in 1969. He was one of the Mansons. No. Excuse me. He was one of the Manson family victims. He wasn't one of the Manson family members. He was like Sharon Tate's hairdresser and all that, and they were hanging out. And yeah, he unfortunately. Yeah. Born on this day in 1941, Peter Coyote. Last week I talked about my guy Ray Donovan. Liev Schreiber, and how I love Ray Donovan and I love the actor Liev Schreiber, but he does like all of the voiceovers, like all the narrations, like anything that you watch, and it's got that guy, his voice, but I don't think that it's Liev Schreiber. I think you know who Ray Donovan is. I think you know who that actor is. And I think you've heard his narration a million times. I'm just not sure that people put it together because the narration that Liev Schreiber does doesn't at all sound like it would come out of the face of the guy who plays Ray Donovan, but it does. And celebrating a birthday today is the other guy in that. There is another Peter Coyote, born on this day in 1941, actor. You'd know him if you saw him. You'd be like, oh, I know that dude. He's one of those guys actors. One of those people, they're not a big star, but he does all the voiceovers too. If it ain't Liev Schreiber, it's probably Peter Coyote. Which kind of bothers me because there was a time in Hollywood where there were certain lanes that you got put in. And if you were an ugly person with a good speaking voice, you got to be a voiceover. You got to do cartoons. You got to do narrations, all that stuff. That was your lane and you were happy. It was your job. Now suddenly we got face actors. We got attractive face actors, people who are already on screen. We got these people being given these jobs. What about the ugly, talented people? What are the ugly, talented people supposed to do? Birthdays today. Born on this day in 1946, John Prine, American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Oh, he was a mailman who then started writing songs, became a big star, and is now considered one of the great songwriters, one of the great American songwriters of the past 100 years. Died of COVID in 2020. John Prine, born on this day in 1946. Born on this day in 1954. Might as well jump! David Lee Roth, DLR, American singer, songwriter, and producer, star of The Sopranos. No, not really, but I'm rewatching The Sopranos, and David Lee Roth had multiple appearances in The Sopranos. He was always playing poker. Whenever they had their executive poker game, they would always have like some celebrities in the executive poker game. Like you would either get your Frank Sinatra Jr., he was there. We would have, you'd have Lawrence Taylor, New York Giants football great, just NFL great. Lawrence Taylor showed up there, and David Lee Roth was another one that was often just playing cards. Who else? Tanya Tucker, born on this day in 1958. Tanya Tucker, American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Kind of hot, right? She's kind of hot. Was she hot? I don't know. Was she kind of trashy? I'm not sure. Born on this day in 1961, Martin Kemp, English singer, songwriter, and bass player. What would I know this much is true. Spandau Ballet, right? He's the dude from Spandau Ballet. Also an actor. I mention this because he was in a movie about the Krays. The Krays were twin brothers who were English gangsters, and one was crazy and one was like more of a normal business guy. But the Krays ruled the London Underground for a period of time in the 1960s. Tom Hardy most recently played a version of the Kray brothers. But this dude, Martin Kemp from Spandau Ballet, he did the first Krays movie. That movie is actually called The Krays. It's a good movie. It's actually a good movie. He's an actor, too. Born on this day in 1965, died much too young, Chris Penn, the little brother of Sean Penn. What was Reservoir Dogs, right? He was, I don't know, was he great? I kind of liked Chris Penn. I liked Chris Penn. And then he died, and it was like, oh my God, that's terrible. Heart attack. He was kind of a big, unhealthy guy. He liked his drugs and cheeseburgers. That's a bad combination, drugs and cheeseburgers. Born on this day in 1967, American businessman, politician, 40th and current governor of California, and future president of the United States. Yeah, Gavin Newsom. That's right. I said it. Oh, he's totally going to be president. Are you kidding me? Have you seen this guy? You think that on the fence suburban soccer moms aren't going to vote for this guy? Please. Oh my God. He's going to come into and also, here's the fun part. His ex-wife is now Don Jr.'s fiance. You know that which is why I don't like Gavin Newsom, which is why I think Gavin Newsom is a nutbag, because he was married to that Kimberly whatever. She was like, how do you go from being like Gavin Newsom's wife and just steeped in California liberal politics, and then you get a divorce, and now you're with Don Jr.? I mean, where is your moral anchor? Where is your code? Because those two people, how could you? I don't get it. But Gavin Newsom, there you go, born on this day in 1967. Oh, he's got to be president. I'll probably vote for him. I mean, what was my choice going to be? My choice going to be like some weirdo? I mean, oh, God. I'm not a fan, though. I'm not a fan because I don't trust him. I don't trust him because he was in love with a woman that changed so hard. She went so hard in a different direction. I don't think he makes good choices. But he had her when she was... Never mind. Don't want to go there. He irritates me. He irritates me in the way that dude who runs Canada irritates me. I don't know what it is. I think that their charm is based on their looks. They're attractive people, so they have this charm that attractive people have. And I see that attractive person charm all the time, and I go, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. No, an ugly person saying the exact same thing, I would just roll my eyes. But you're attractive, so it's... I mean, not to me, because I'm a heterosexual guy. But you know what I'm saying? He's going to win because of that. Women. He's so sweet. Really? He's a politician. All right, let's keep going. Born on this day in 1969, Brett Favre. Hate Brett Favre. Despise Brett Favre. Couldn't be happier about the troubles that he's going through right now. Brett Favre is a big, dumb hillbilly. That's all he is. Big, dumb, stupid hillbilly who we put in the spotlight. And then what did he do? He just did a whole bunch of big, dumb hillbilly stuff. Showing his penis, DUIs, stealing welfare funds from a state university so he could build his daughter a volleyball court. Just all kinds of like dumb, entitled hillbilly shit that this guy was involved in. Another birthday, born on this day in 1969, Wendy McClendon Covey. Love her. She's the mom on the Goldbergs, but I love her from Reno 911. She was originally on Reno 911 and so funny. Born on this day in 1973, Mario Smokin' Lopez. That's right, Mario Lopez. How do we know him? I mean, he was like, do we know him from Saved by the Bell? Is that, I guess, where we know him from? I guess. He never went away. A lot of those people went away. He didn't go away. He's still out there. Mario Smokin' Lopez. Born on this day in 1974, Dale Jr., American race car driver, actor, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Born on this day in 1982, Dan Stevens. He was in Downton Abbey, but I didn't see him in Downton Abbey. He's the star of Legion, and Legion is so good. Season 1 of Legion is so good, and Dan Stevens is so good in it. He's done a whole bunch of things. He's a hot actor now. You know, it's... most people, I guess, would know him from Downton Abbey. Never saw an episode of Downton Abbey. Doesn't even look remotely interesting to my tastes. Born on this day in 1989. Here's the last one we're going to do. How old is she? That would make her 20, 30, 31, 32, 33 years old. Oh, my God. Oh, like I need this in my life. Amy Teagarden is 33 years old today. Amy Teagarden's an old lady Who's Amy Teagarden? She was the daughter on Friday Night Lights. She was like America's perfect daughter. She was like America's perfect girl next door. She was like the perfect little 15-year-old kid that you want in your neighborhood. She was smart. She was conscientious. She was decent. She was kind. She was raised well. And she's 33. How old do you feel? Amy Teagarden. Coach, what was his name? Coach Taylor, little Taylor, little Amy Taylor. I don't know. Let's call her Amy Taylor. Born on this day in 1989, 33 years old. All right, let's do some deaths because we had some notable deaths, people who passed away on this day in history. On this day in 1985, Yul Brynner, Russian actor, bald guy, king and I, don't know what else he did, famously died of lung cancer. And then shortly after his death, they started running these PSAs. Do you remember these? I'm Yul Brynner, and I'm dead. He recorded it before he died. Like, before he died, Yul Brynner went in front of a camera and was like, hi, I'm Yul Brynner, and I'm dead because I smoked 15 packs of cigarettes from the time I was 4 years old. Yeah, and that's creepy. Freaked people out. Hey, I thought he died. Why is he on TV talking about how he just died? And he was talking about how he just died. It's weird. It worked, though. People don't smoke anymore. Hardly anybody smokes. Whenever I see like a young person smoking a cigarette, I always go, that's weird. Because they all vape. I mean, look, an addiction to nicotine hasn't gone away. That's still around. But the actual smoking of cigarettes, it's rare when you see somebody. I mean, it's always an old person. It's always somebody old. Like, smoking has become kind of like, oh, you're old, you still smoke. Because like, all the kids have their electric pens and they just inject their nicotine in a different way. I don't know. But notice that. Like, you can see like a 15-year-old smoking a cigarette out in front of a 7-Eleven. You don't see that. You don't see it. You don't see it anymore. Who else died? Oh, on the very same day. This is two big ones. Yul Brynner died on this day in 1985. Also dead on this day in 1985. Orson Welles. Orson Welles, American actor, director, producer, and screenwriter. Man, this guy, so maybe he did it right, maybe he did it wrong. I don't know. I guess it all depends on how you look at it. Dude came out of the box an absolute genius. The dude, Orson Welles made like his first, what were his first three? So it was Citizen Kane, Magnificent Ambersons, and, oh man, I can't think of the other one. Anyway, this dude was like 15. Okay, he was 21, but still, he was like a 15-year-old kid who made Citizen Kane. And it's like, he's so young. And this is like in what, the 1930s? And all of a sudden, he is a genius. He was given all the power that Hollywood had to give a 14-year-old. Thought you said he was 50. Well, he was like 21 or 22. But he could never live up to it. I mean, 10 years after he made Citizen Kane, which is still considered the greatest film ever made, American film anyway, 10 years after, he still hasn't topped that. How do you top that? Dude was in his like 60s, and they're like, when are you going to make another Citizen Kane? And he's like, yeah, I've made a whole bunch of other things. What, you don't like them as much? It was by the end of his life, he's doing wine commercials. Paul Masson will sell no wine before. He was supposed to be Hitchcock. He was supposed to be Spielberg. And he just, he didn't really, whatever. He was also a very difficult guy. It destroyed him. Being made that important at such a young age turned him into the most pompous, arrogant douche Hollywood has ever known. There are outtakes. Go to YouTube. Just put in Orson Welles outtakes, and you'll hear the way he talks to people. He was not a decent person. Dead on this day in 1998. Marvin Gaye Sr. Now, Marvin Gaye Jr., we know how Marvin Gaye Jr. went. Marvin Gaye went because Marvin Gaye Sr. killed him. American minister and murderer of Marvin Gaye. That's right, his dad, Marvin Gaye Sr. All right, Mr. Popular, hold on. It is an off day from school, so I have to keep checking my texts because, kids are off school and all that stuff. Dead on this day in 2004. This was a sad one. Christopher Reeve, American actor, producer, and activist. He's Superman. He's my Superman. He's always going to be my Superman. My Superman got thrown off a horse and was paralyzed from the neck down in the 1980s and then died on this day in 2004. Christopher Reeve. What a hero, right? What a guy Christopher Reeve. Put him together for him. That's a guy who went through some stuff. I mean, you're Christopher Reeve. You're Superman. You ever seen that guy? That guy was handsome. Christopher Reeve was crazy handsome. Like all-timer. Like all-timer Hollywood dude handsome. He was really handsome. And he was like Superman, and, he could have had his pick of roles, and, maybe he would have done, who knows what Christopher Reeve would have, but he got paralyzed from the neck down when he was thrown from a horse. Terrible. Dead on this day in 2012, a disgraced American football player and Webster's dad, Alex Karras. That's right. Remember Webster? George M. Ma'am. He was George with the mustache. Webster was such a funny show. Webster, there was just no shame in Hollywood back then. I mean, Webster was basically, ABC had different strokes, or NBC had different strokes, and ABC said, let's get us a little black kid. And that's what they did. They just recreated different strokes on a different network. I'll see your Gary Coleman, and I will raise you an Emmanuel Lewis. He's an even cuter Gary Coleman. That's right. Didn't think that was possible, did you? But Emmanuel Lewis was a cuter Gary Coleman. Alex Karras died on this day in 2012. All right. Let's get into the trends. There's not a whole lot of topics here to go through today, so I don't know how much longer we're going to be doing this show. But I do appreciate y'all being here. Let's check back in. We got Sean. We got Jen. Jennifer. I don't like to do that. I don't know Jennifer Hernandez well enough to call her Jen. And I know that some people do not appreciate when their names are shortened by people who don't know them that well. So I will call you Jennifer. Sean's here. Adam's here. Good to see Adam here. Adam says Gavin Newsom will be the first Gen X president. I guess, maybe. I don't think we're going to get one, though. I don't think we're going to get a Gen X president. I think that we're either going to stay old or we're going to jump very young. Like, we're going to get like a millennial president before we get a Gen X president. Because it'll just be so exciting. It'll be like Camelot. Wouldn't be surprised. Gen X we'll get skipped over in the presidents. You know what? Maybe we'll have a Gen X president in 30 years when like the Gen X guy is like 80. I don't know. But I think we're going to get skipped over. Unless you consider Barack Obama Gen X, which some people do. I don't think I do. What about Kamala? She ain't going to be president. Yeah, I know she ain't. But she could be a Gen X president. All right, let's go into the trends. Let's talk about, first of all, at the top, we got nothing but ugliness. We've got Kiev. Kiev is being carpet bombed right now. The Russians are absolutely tearing Kiev apart. They're claiming that they're taking out, power and water and all that. And they've done that. There is no power, no water, no nothing. There's nothing happening in Ukraine that would make you think you are in this century. It is like completely the Russians are panicking. They've gone, it's an all-out attack on Kiev, and people are suffering. There you go. It's bad. They're still saber rattling. They're talking about nukes. We're still concerned about that. He's still saying, "I got nukes," and he's desperate and he's pinned into a corner and didn't get to celebrate his birthday. Putin's birthday was the other day. Didn't get to celebrate it, and apparently he's got the blues. He's got the "nobody loves me" blues, and so he's desperate. And some really bad things are going on right now and have been going on over the past 24 to 48 hours in Kiev and actually all over Ukraine. They're just waiting for this onslaught to be over. And then they'll go back to their guerrilla tactics that have served them so well in the war so far. North Korea is also trending. Here's another saber rattling idiot. He's been launching weapons towards Japan for like the last few days, and now he's doing all of these nuclear drills and people. South Korea is calling up, reserves, and they're talking about conscripting the boy bands, which would be great for morale. Send what was that bad? Boys that sing BTS. Send BTS to the front line. I'm not even kidding. That's like a real thing. Those guys are like about to get drafted. They're about to go Elvis. It is Indigenous Peoples Day. That's right. Indigenous Peoples Day is trending. The United States marks Indigenous Peoples Day on October 10th to honor the resilience and contributions of indigenous populations, as well as their inherent sovereignty. According to the White House, their inherent sovereignty. So you just saying that, right? You're not actually going to grant them sovereignty. You're not going to actually let them have their lands back, but we're going to say it. There should absolutely be an Indigenous Peoples Day. I don't know that we needed to cram it in here over Columbus Day. That seems just problematic. Was Columbus a good person? Not by today's standards. I don't know. I don't know what he was by those day standards. Certainly by today's standards, Columbus was a brutal maniac. But, you take the good with the bad. People are complicated. He got lost and he discovered, but he didn't discover. See, I'm so conflicted over the whole Columbus thing. Because it really is a story that have been told by a certain group of people in the world. And then there are other groups of people in the world who are like, that story ain't true. And in the story that the people that are pushing the Columbus story are like, shut up or we'll conquer you next. And so it's like, okay, whatever, you can say what you want. But the dude was looking for India, okay? He went the wrong way. He went the wrong way. He got lost, and where he showed up, he refused to admit he got lost, and he just went, you know what, I'm not lost. This is India. Meanwhile, he was in like Jamaica, right? Or the Bahamas or wherever. So he's kind of a clown show, but I don't know. Look, bottom line, there should be an Indigenous Peoples Day. I mean, we should be able to, oh, here, the dog is coming in. Here, can we get her? Can we see her? Push on the doorknob. Come on, you can do it. My dog can open the door. She gets up on her back legs and she puts her paws on the knob and she twists it and then she leans in and the door pops open, and that's what she's trying to do right now. This will be a couple of minutes, but she'll get it. All right. It's also World Mental Health Day, which aims to raise awareness of mental health issues around the world and mobilize efforts in support of mental health. Is marked annually on October the 10th. Back to Columbus, though. Can we get back to Columbus? Why do you people care? Like, here's what I don't get. I don't get the people who are like, they ain't calling it Indigenous people. It's Columbus. Why do you care? I don't remember, like, in the 1970s and 80s, there being these great reverence for Columbus on this day. This was the day we were off to school. It was a day that the grown-ups still went to work. It was basically a normal day other than, we had a day off school. We had a long weekend because it always fell on a Monday. Why? Nobody gives a shit about this. Look, I guess, because I am re-binging The Sopranos, and there was an entire story arc in The Sopranos about the Columbus Day versus the Indians. I mean, why do you care? I don't understand why this is such a big deal. I gotta let the dog in. Because she's given up. Apparently, it's a lazy day for her as well. I'll be right back. All right, come on. All right, I see. It was jammed. Okay. Can't blame me for a jammed door. A towel had fallen and was creating a jam in the door. So the dog was unable to open the door. All right. Jeff Ballard, with a bit of wisdom that I happen to agree with, says that Columbus can't discover a place that already had people here. And even if we're giving credit to like Columbus as, the first white European to discover, North America. First of all, I don't think my grandpa would have considered an Italian sailing for Spain, or was he Portuguese, whatever he was. He was Italian. I don't think my grandpa would have considered him a white man, but okay, all right, that's fine. He wouldn't he didn't consider people from Spain or Italians to be white people. But whatever. And even if we're going to say that, even if we're going to give Columbus that credit, the first white man to discover, he wasn't. Come on, Vikings, step up and defend your heritage. We now know without a doubt that there were Vikings in Newfoundland hundreds of years before Columbus. The Vikings went from Iceland to Greenland to Newfoundland to Canada. We know where they are. It's believed that they came all the way into the Great Lakes. And that's why we have the Minnesota Vikings, because there are Viking settlements in what is current day Minnesota, Wisconsin, Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So, I mean, why are we even giving it to Columbus? What is that about? Why not Leif Erikson? That's the guy who they think was here first. So if the white people really, the Vikings are far more white people than Columbus was. I don't. So let's defend. But again, you can't discover something that already had people. That is the height of arrogance. That is like me kicking in the door of our neighbors, standing in their living room and going, "I have discovered this new land of opportunity." It doesn't work that way. What else do we have here? What else is happening? Oh, God, we got to deal with this. All right. So it's a slow news day, so we got to deal with Kanye. Kanye is calling for, well, he's not. What is he calling for? Kanye says that he is personally going to DEFCON 3 against all Jews. What is happening? What is happening? Kanye is, he's okay. So here's how this thing started. Here's how it started. So Kanye West is rabble rousing. He's an apex troll. He is so good at trolling. So he's going around wearing his White Lives Matter shirt, which, is one, he's a crazy person. Two, he's a troll of the highest order. Three, he's entirely geared to be the center of attention at all times. That's his whole thing. So, him going around in a White Lives Matter t-shirt is just such an obvious. If you're not a Dumbo, you look at this and you go, oh, he's trying to get people talking about him again. That's all he's trying to do. He put that shirt on and he went, we're going to get people talking about me. That was his whole thing. So here's what happened. So he wears the White Lives Matter shirt and he gets a text from someone who is described as his friend. It's P. Diddy, right? I don't know if they're friends, whatever. They probably swim in the same tank. They know each other, I'm sure. So he gets this text with P. Diddy, Sean Combs, and he is asking Kanye to dial it back, that he doesn't understand what he's doing to, the black man and, all that kind of stuff. And making some obvious points, but Kanye didn't care about that because he's crazy. We've already established that Kanye's crazy. He doesn't care. He doesn't think that stuff. That's not the way his mind works. So he's crazy. And Kanye sends back to P. Diddy. I'm going to try and use all the nicknames for Puffy. He sends back to Diddy. Here's what he said. I'm going to DEFCON 3 against all Jews and the Jews who made you write this text. Okay. And then he made it all public. He said, I'm going to make these texts public. So he basically, Sean Combs coming to Kanye, going, hey, dude, look, here's what's happening. Why are you doing this? Please don't do this. And here's why I don't want you to do it. And Kanye's response was, I'm going to DEFCON 3 against you and all them Jews that are making you so. And then he makes it public. Like Kanye made that public. It wasn't like somebody else went, look how Kanye talks about Jews in private. No, Kanye talks like that in public. So he puts that out there. So now everybody's, God, now the Jewish people are going crazy. Like, what? Can we leave Jewish people alone? My God. Kanye threatens to go to war with Jewish people, claims he can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually also Jews. Yeah, but you believe in Jesus, right? Okay, the Jews don't. Stop it, Kanye! Stop it! Stop it. After being censored on Instagram, Kanye West returned to Twitter with a tweet suggesting he would be going to DEFCON 3. Although that's funny because he writes it DEFCON 3. Kanye thinks it's DEFCON 3. He doesn't know it's deaf. He should DEF, deaf, like Def Jam. He should know it's DEFCON 3, not DEFCON 3. But he's a dumbo. Kanye also added, the funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jews also. The rapper's latest tweet about Jewish people has already been removed by Twitter. Kanye hasn't been on Twitter in nearly 2 years and was welcomed back to the platform by Elon Musk, who tweeted, "Welcome back to Twitter, my friend." West 45 also wore his controversial White Lives Matter shirt to his daughter's basketball game on Saturday. Oh, my God. You don't just, oh, God, how humiliating for his daughter. First of all, his kids, they got a Kardashian mom, who I love, by the way. I think Kim is a fantastic mom, but, aside from that, they've got Kanye for a dad, and he's showing up at, their basketball games, getting everybody to take pictures of him, and look at me in my White Lives Matter shirt. Oh, stop it, Kanye. Have a little respect for the sanctity of your child's game. Go there in disguise, or better yet, Kanye, don't go at all. Send one of your lackeys to film it. Send 10 lackeys with 10 cameras, getting all 10 angles, and then have them go into their little editing room, and they will make you a movie of your child's basketball game that will be better than if you were there. You will see things. Don't go to your kids. Stop going to your kids' games, Kanye. This is really going to be a problem. You're an embarrassment. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You are embarrassing your kids. The Panthers are trending. Panthers as in Carolina Panthers. The Panthers have fired their head coach, Matt Rule, who had gone 11-27 during his 3 seasons in Carolina. Rule leaves Carolina with 4 years left on a 7-year contract. 7 years. He's got 4 years left, 4.5 years left of big head coaching money, and he doesn't have to do anything. But here's the problem. 4 years is a long time. If he just sits on this contract and just collects all the money from this contract, how's he going to jump back into coaching in 4 years? He's going to want to get right back into it. He's going to want to stay in the cycle so that he's a name that people talk about the next time there's a head coaching job that opens. Now, I don't know if he takes an assistant job in the NFL somewhere. I mean, he can't. If he's under contract, if he is collecting on a contract with the Carolina Panthers, then he can't take a job working for another team. Can't sign a contract with another team if he's already under contract with the Panthers. College? Maybe he can go to college. Maybe he can get a nice college paycheck. I don't know. Whatever. He's fine. He is going to be fine. He was a terrible coach, and now he's going to be fine. Probably live the rest of his life. If he was a normal person like me, I don't know what he's got left on that thing, but you know how well I could live the rest of my life doing nothing but golfing, playing video games, just nothing. I wouldn't have to do anything. Get himself a condo, get himself a sensible car. He'd be fine. He could totally have a nice life. What else we got? Madonna is trending. Madonna's getting all weird again. Madonna says she's gay. That's the big deal. That's why Madonna's trending, because she said she's gay. She didn't say she was gay. What she did was she made a TikTok video where she had some underwear in her hand, and she said, and she was going to throw the underwear into a laundry basket across the room. And she said, "If I miss, I'm gay." And then she missed. And everybody's like, Madonna just admitted she's gay. Stop it. First of all, Madonna probably is gay. She's been bisexual for 50 years. Okay. This is not a shock that Madonna could. Oh, Madonna is so gross. And you should see her. That's the other thing. People are freaking out because of her appearance in this video. This woman's 80 years old, and she's still trying to be 25. It's just so unbecoming. What else do we have here? There's a lot of stupid celebrity stuff, man. A lot of stupid celebrity stuff because real news is just not being reported today because all of the reporters are off or whatever. It's kind of a holiday. Eddie Murphy and Mel B are trending. Eddie Murphy has to pay more. Do you know Mel B from the Spice Girls? Eddie Murphy and Mel B, they have a kid together. She's 15 now. 15. That's how long they were together. They had a cup of coffee together as a couple and had a kid. And Eddie's been paying her $25,000 a month in child support for their 15-year-old daughter. Jeez. $25,000 a month. Well, that's been upped. That's been up now to $35,000 a month. I don't know why, but he seems to be okay with it. This story comes with a picture of Mel B and Eddie Murphy's daughter. Lovely young lady. She's now got $35,000. She's now bringing into that Mel B household $35K a month just for being a genetic match with Eddie Murphy or whatever. I don't know if I said that right. Harvey Weinstein is trending because Harvey Weinstein's trial in Los Angeles is about to begin. I don't know if we're going to pay attention to this. Is this going to be like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, or is this going to just be something like we don't care? Because don't act like we care about them all. We don't care about them all. Kevin Spacey has been on trial in New York now for 2 weeks, and we don't care at all about that. That's something that we're not. So I don't know if the Weinstein one will. Maybe if there's like big celebrities who testify against him. It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years since this whole Harvey Weinstein thing went down. I wonder what he's going to look like. Is he going to show up to court all decrepit and stuff? Or like, is he out? I don't even know if he's out. You know what? Let's click on this. Let's read a little bit of this. No, I don't care. I really don't care. You know, what am I supposed to... Frank Smith says Madonna used to be hot in 1986 to 1992. Disagree. Never got Madonna. Never understood why she was not she was not even close to being the hottest. I mean, of the women that were doing pop music in that era, Madonna was the one that I always went, I don't get her. I mean, Madonna is what would Madonna be? Let me use my Dallas scale. Madonna is a Dallas 5. She's a Dallas 5. Madonna would be a Plano. Madonna would be a Plano 7. She would be an Arlington 6. A Fort Worth 5. I'm going through this in my head. Fort Worth and Dallas. I think Fort Worth and Dallas have the same. Yeah, because women in Fort Worth are gorgeous. Women in Dallas are gorgeous. We know this. Dallas has crazy beautiful women. Anyway, Madonna, way overrated. In my opinion. That's just what I think. Pugs, you don't like hypersexual women. That's not true. I wouldn't say that that's true. I would say that I don't like women who routinely display a lack of dignity. And Madonna has throughout her career sort of reveled in being undignified. I like a sophisticated lady. I like an elegant woman. I like a woman who has class. I like a woman who is educated. I like a woman who has opinions and is smart and can actually, defend those positions. I like that. Madonna is just a crazy theater girl. That's all she is. Madonna is a crazy theater girl. And I just don't like that type of personality. Look at me, says the only child who streams for 2 hours. One of the most narcissistic people that you know, me. Yeah, I'm saying that I don't like people who are theatrical. Showy. And ugh. And I didn't like her dress. I didn't like her style of dress. Like, remember in the 80s when she was like, the Madonna look? Well, go to 1984 in your head. Madonna in 1984. Holiday, celebrate, that whole thing, that whole look. Didn't like it. Desperately Seeking Susan. Didn't love that look. Thought that was a gross look. Who was better? Who would I have been more attracted to when everybody was talking about Madonna? I don't know. Because, like, who are her contemporaries? Cyndi Lauper? I mean, okay, Cyndi Lauper I didn't like either. She was a little too over the top. I'm trying to think of who. Pat Benatar? Nah, Pat Benatar never did it for me. Susie Quattro? No, not Susie Quattro. How about Joan Jett? No, not Joan Jett. Paula Abdul. What? Oh, I got one for you. Undeniable. Debbie Gibson was cute. Yeah, I would put would I rather, me in 1985, would I rather date Madonna or Debbie Gibson? I think that's good, Leslie. I would go with Debbie Gibson. Absolutely. I would have rather dated Debbie Gibson. Who's what I was just thinking of? Oh, here's the big one. Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson was a smoke show. Janet Jackson was sexy. She had, bam! She was so yeah. I think during the time of Madonna, late '80s, early '90s, Janet Jackson would have been the one that I'd been like. She's definitely I was never attracted to Tiffany. Sean McCoy says Taylor Dane. Tell it to my heart. Taylor Dane. Never attracted really to her. There were girl groups. Like, do you remember that group? There was, you guys, if you're Gen X like me, Susanna Hoffs. There we go. Susanna Hoffs of the Bengals. Oh, did I have a crush on her? Very well played, Jeff. Very well. I had totally forgotten about Susanna Hoffs. Even Belinda Carlisle. I would have been way more into dating Belinda Carlisle or Jane Weedland for that matter. Jane Weedland, guitar player for the Go-Go's, was so cute. Oh my God. All right, now we're rolling. Now we got Lisa and Cult Jam. What did they do? Anyway, there was a girl group that was big in like the 1980s and into the 90s, and they just had a string of bangers that topped the pop charts for probably 2 or 3 years, and then gone. I mean, they were everywhere, and then all of a sudden they were gone. And the reason I bring them up, because they were hot girls, as I remember watching this girl group. Here, I'll give you an example. See, oh, you son of a bitch, the GOAT, he beat me to it. Expose. Whatever happened to Expose? You remember Expose? I mean, they were big. I mean, they weren't what I was into, but I'm going to clubs and stuff. You can't get away from Expose in 1989 or whatever the hell it was. They had a bunch of hits. Let's see what this is. Okay, so this is probably their big one. Right? This band was huge. And now I'm looking at these girls. Every one of these girls is more attractive to me than Madonna. Pointer Sisters. Wasn't really into them. Right? This band, they just went nowhere. And I bet they made no money. I bet you the producers and all the people that put this band together made all the money. I want to see that one. I want to see that behind the music. Expose. I want to see what these ladies are up to now. Here's another one. Come go with me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It looks like, okay, so Expose had albums between 1987 and 1992. Now that I'm thinking about this, forget about Madonna. Virtually any girl that Prince produced in the 1980s, far hotter than Madonna. Sheila E., Apollonia. You're taking me to the point of no return. Hey, by the way, we just listened to Expose, and somebody else mentioned Taylor Dane. Vanity. There you go. Vanity was hot too. And somebody just mentioned Taylor Dane. The song that I was reminded of Expose because somebody mentioned Taylor Dane, and I started to hum an Expose song. And I'm like, no, that's not Expose. That's Taylor Dane's song is, what was the one? What? They sound the same is my point. Like Taylor Dane may as well have been in Expose. Let me see. Let's get some Taylor Dane. What was a Taylor Dane song? Oh, what a surprise. Taylor Dane doesn't come up first when you put Taylor into Spotify. There's another Taylor out there now who tends to come up first. Here you go. All right, so this is Taylor Dane. How is this any different than what we just heard from Expose? It's like the exact same thing. Tell me. Music back then wasn't terrible. That wasn't terrible. That's not terrible. I can still listen to it and have that sentimental attachment go, it's a good song. Gonna make you smile. You're going to smile now. Even if you didn't like that song in 1989 or whatever, you're going to smile now because sentimental attachment dictates that you're now thinking about where you were when you heard that song. You're thinking about the people you were with, those people you don't see anymore. That's the power of music. Sentimental attachment. All right, so Weinstein, he's going on trial. We'll move on from that. Let's see here. What else do we have? Deadline Hollywood is trending. Why? Because Nikki Fink, the creator of Deadline Hollywood, a gossip columnist, Nikki Fink has died. She has died, and there you go. The entertainment industry is, I don't know if they're mourning her. Apparently, I mean, I knew who she was, but I thought she was a fake name. I thought Nikki Fink, or Nikki, however you pronounce it, I thought that was like Perez Hilton. I thought it was like a fake name, like just like a phony character that was created to be this flame-throwing gossip talker, shit talker type. No, real woman, real older woman too. Woman almost 70 years old. Well, here, we'll give her due. Let's see here. Nikki Fink, is that how you say it? Nikki Fink dies. Deadline founder and longtime entertainment journalist, was 68 years old. Nikki Fink, the veteran entertainment journalist who founded Deadline in 2006 and helped grow it into a major player among Hollywood trades, died Sunday morning in Boca Raton, Florida, after a prolonged illness. She was 68 years old. The famously reclusive Fink founded her site as Deadline Hollywood Daily, the 24/7 internet version of her long-running print column, Deadline Hollywood, which appeared in LA Weekly. She posted firsthand accounts of how she saw the entertainment business and was unfazed about dressing down its biggest players. Her often biting, acerbic posts called out wrongdoing and wrongdoers as she saw fit, making her a hero to many assistants and below-the-liners, while irking many of the C-suites who were not used to anything less than praise. There's a bunch of Hollywood terminology in there that I don't really understand all of it, so we're going to move on. But there you go. Nikki Fink has died. Here's another one. Porn star injury. We got a porn star injury. This is a big deal. Porn star has been hurt. Now, some of you pervy guys, I don't recognize this name. This is not okay. Name a current porn star. Riley Reeve. I know that she's the one that most people mention. She's like, is she still the biggest porn star in the world right now? Riley Reeve? Hey, I can tell you about Jessie Jane. I can tell you about any number of porn stars from the early 2000s, people that I may have met. I can even go deep. I can go to like the Ginger Lynn, era of the 1980s. But I don't know who this is. This person's name is, I think she's like maybe one of these Russian porn stars. Adult star Adriana Chechik. Adriana Chechik. Chechik. Any of you pervy dudes know her? What's she look like? Is there pictures in this story? Adult star Adriana Chechik breaks her back after jumping into a foam pit at a convention. Adriana Chechik said Chechik. Is that her stage name? That's okay. Why not? All right. Because that sounds like a real name. And don't they always never mind. Like Riley Reeve isn't Riley Reeve's real name. Like her real name is probably like Gwendolyn Johnson. It's like something not good. But this is kind of a good name. Adrian Chechik. Adrian Chechik said she was told to dive in the foam pit, but landed on her back and was left struggling to move. Twitch, who organized the convention, is investigating. All right, so apparently she made an appearance at some Twitch convention in San Diego, and one of her duties was she had to battle another girl. They got up on one of these, like American Gladiator style. They got up on one of these podiums, and it was a foam pit, and they had big sticks, and they were fighting on the podium, and the first person to be knocked over into the pool or the pit, I guess, of foam stuff loses, right? And she fell off of the podium and fell into the foam pit and broke her back. She broke her back. Porn star Adriana, is it Adriana or Adrian? Adriana Chechik broke her back after a foam pit jump at a convention went horribly wrong. The Twitch streamer was invited to a face-off event at TwitchCon in San Diego, where she and a rival had to knock each other off podiums using padded poles in a gladiator-style battle. Yeah, that's what I imagined. I mean, I'm looking at the picture here. It looks like American Gladiators. Video shared on social media shows her jumping off the podium into the foam pit and then landing on her backside. When she gets on all fours, she tells another streamer, "I can't get out." A presenter can be heard saying, "She's fine." A presenter can be heard saying, "Don't worry, she's fine. Don't anybody help her." But Adriana cradles in pain and struggles to move while a worker removes the foam blocks to clear a path for her. She later tweeted confirming her injury. "Well, I broke my back in 2 places and am getting surgery to put a metal rod in for support today." A lot of jokes there. Send your support, but not for me. That's Byron's lane. Byron can probably have some jokes here. What the fudge? Okay, so I guess I can't read that sentence because this pop-up isn't going to go away. It's just going to cover the sentence. Send your support when he rain right now. That's it. That's all I got from that. I have no idea what that sentence is because there's a pop-up that will not go away from the sentence. She believes it's the company's fault for not properly setting up the booth, adding, "It's also either the convention's fault or the convention center's fault for not having the booth inspected and obligated for safety." But I'm sure she's got to check with her attorneys to determine which of those 2 people have the deepest pockets. And then it will be their fault, whoever has the deepest pockets. Although, quite frankly, if she got hurt, they told people to dive into the foam pit and then told people to just walk it off. A streamer who witnessed the accident wrote, "I was there and caught it from a different angle. I knew she hurt herself, but not that it was this serious. Wishing you a speedy recovery." Okay, now there's a bunch of like pictures of her in like lingerie and stuff like that, and we'll just move on. If you're interested in knowing what she is, she's pretty. She's pretty. She's pretty. She's a porn star. She's pretty. All right, what else do we have here? This is the last one. This is the last one I had. John Candy. John Candy is trending today. Why aren't I on Twitch? Sean, that's a really good idea. I wanted to be, but it wasn't one that we set up. And it's one that I absolutely think that we need to do, but that's honestly not my area. What we do in that area is the domain of Ed, and I trust that Ed knows best. And if he's got a reason for it, then he's to be believed. Because I don't know. I don't know why we wouldn't do it. Pictures, please. Jeff, you're on a computer. Just Google Adriana Chechik. Just Google her and you can see pictures. Probably better ones than the ones that they showed here because these are just pictures of her in a bikini. John Candy is trending. I don't know why he's trending. Nobody seems to know why he's trending. I thought maybe was it his birthday? Was it the day he died? And no to both of those. No rhyme or reason as to why John Candy is trending today other than for us to do a John Candy draft. Oh, well, he is trending. All right, we do drafts from time to time where we like to select. We look at a famous person's body of work, and we like to kind of go through it and determine, let's rank him. What is the best thing he's ever done? The best thing he's ever done, in my estimation, would be the first pick. And we do it. It's a 5-round draft, and then we invite some free agents if it's warranted. Sometimes it's not. But in this case, it definitely is. So let's go with a John Candy draft with the first overall selection from the immense body of work presented and created by John Candy. We here at Pugs Moran presents High Noon on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. First pick overall. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's right, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Why, of all the John Candy, would I pick Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Because I believe that is his best film. And we'll move on. With the second pick in the John Candy draft, the second overall pick, we are going with Only the Lonely. Only the Lonely. And now there is a theme here. John Candy was an hysterical comedic actor, and he did some very over-the-top comedy performances that, would just sit tight. We'll get to them. But John Candy as an actor, John Candy as a leading man, John Candy as somebody who didn't have to play the role of Fatty Fall Down is the one that always fascinated me. And I think his best example of what he could do as like an everyman actor is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I think that's fantastic. He's Del. Oh my God, was Del? Oh, did you love Del? Del was just such a wonderful man and irritating a little bit. He had his little idiosyncrasies, but the problem in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was Steve Martin. Steve Martin was the uptight jerk. John Candy's Del was just a really nice guy. Bad things happened, of course. But, the attitude. I love John Candy's attitude. Only the Lonely is another example of that. Only the Lonely John Candy plays. Does he play a cop? He's like an aging cop who's never been married, and he's taking care of his mother, played by Maureen O'Hara. And it's just it's a wonderful, it's a rom-com. It is John Candy. It's them seeing, can we do a rom-com with a guy that doesn't look like Tom Hanks, or a guy that isn't thin and attractive or whatever, Ryan Gosling. Can we do that? And they did it. They wouldn't have said Ryan Gosling in 1989, because Ryan Gosling probably wasn't born. But you get what I'm saying. John Candy, first pick, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Second pick, Only the Lonely. With the third pick in the John Candy draft, we here at Pugs, Moran, High Noon. Oh, 2 flies. I got 2 flies. 2 flies and no fly swatter. They can kill me. I'm gonna 3 flies. How are there 3 flies? Did this dog bring in flies? There are 3 flies right now. God, focus in. Third pick, Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck comes in with the third pick. Uncle Buck's wonderful. Yeah, he's, again, not playing John Candy as Fatty Fall Down, playing John Candy as a real, well-formed character, a multi-dimensional character, a complicated man. So good in Uncle Buck. Number 4, I'm going with Summer Rental. Now, this is John Candy doing the broad comedy, the fall down, all of that kind of stuff. Love me some Summer Rental. And with the 5th pick in the John Candy draft, we here at Pugs Moran's High Noon stream, we're going to go with JFK. That's right. John Candy in a dramatic role in JFK. So good as the sweaty guy at the lunch, and he's wearing the white suit. Oh, God. That, I'm telling you, he died shortly after that movie was released. That was an indicator of what John Candy would have done as an actor in his 50s and 60s. He was going to be able to pull off drama. It's so easy. The great comedians are always great at drama, but the great dramatists are never great at comedy. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't flow that way. If you are a comedian and a very funny and successful comedian, it is more like a John Candy. It is more likely that you are going to be able to show the world that you actually have dramatic chops and have it be believable than it is for like Daniel Day-Lewis to kill on stage at the Improv. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. JFK, I'm telling you, he could have done dramatic roles. I mean, look what we're seeing with people. We saw it with Robin Williams. Robin Williams went into dramatic roles. Adam Sandler is now doing it. It's a thing. Will Ferrell is trying to, I hate these flies. These flies are going to kill me. All right, we are going to invite some people to camp. Some undrafted free agents are going to get invites to John Candy Camp. First and foremost, Stripes is coming to camp. Spaceballs is coming to camp. Splash is coming to camp. The Great Outdoors with Dan Aykroyd coming to camp. Armed and Dangerous with Eugene Levy and a bunch of his Second City people coming to camp. Cool Runnings, such a fun movie. John Candy, coach of the Jamaican bobsled team, coming to camp. Little Shop of Horrors, coming to camp. And for smaller roles, small but pivotal roles, John Candy is going to get invites to camp for Blues Brothers, as the state cop who had to sit through the show at the end of the Blues Brothers. Pouce Cafe. Isn't that what he ordered? No, Orange Whip. It was Orange Whip. That's what he ordered. All the cops, they weren't going to interrupt the Blues Brothers on stage, and so they arrived to arrest the Blues Brothers as they were going on. So all the cops decided, well, let's just grab some tables and sit and let's watch the show. And John Candy was the detective who, when the waitress came over and said, "Can we get you something?" And he's like, "I'll take an Orange Whip. Pivotal role. All right. Also, National Lampoon's Vacation. He's going to get an invite to camp. for that role as the security guard at Wally World in National Lampoon's Vacation. So there you go. That's John Candy's draft. Number 1 pick, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Number 2, Only the Lonely. Number 3, Uncle Buck. Number 4, Summer Rental. Number 5, JFK. With camp invites going to Stripes, Baseball, Splash, The Great Outdoors, Armed and Dangerous, Cool Runnings, Little Shop of Horrors, and for smaller roles in the Blues Brothers and National Lampoon's Vacation. All right, let's jump in. Let's see if there's anything new happening. Is there anything new that's been trending since we signed on here? Yep, nope, nothing. I'm not seeing anything. Nothing. Oh, my God. Ted Cruz is going to war with Casey Musgraves. Oh, my God. Just leave Casey Musgraves alone, okay? Just leave Casey Musgraves alone, dude. You don't want none of that smoke. She'll write a song about you. Ugh. Columbus is trending number 1. A growing movement recasts the second Monday in October as a day to appreciate the history of Indigenous communities. That visibility, Native Americans say, can help us see what else needs to change. All right, very nice. It's all very nice. No argument there. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. And if it bothers you, you are somebody who feeds off being bothered. If you are one of these people, I'm telling you, Columbus Day, I'm calling it Columbus. No, like this is how it would go down. How come you don't have school today, Junior? Because it's Indigenous Peoples Day. Oh, for crying out loud, it's Columbus Day. If that's your response, you're the one that's broken. Your response should be, all right, whatever. You don't give a shit about Columbus. You don't give a shit about Columbus Day. What you give a shit about is things being easy. And when they change the name, now it's something new you got to learn, and you're upset about that. That's it. You just want to be, it's Columbus Day. Columbus was great. That's what I was told. Actually, it turns out you were told wrong. Nope, that's not what I believe. So I'm going to be irritated now because I am getting some new information that conflicts with the shit that I had already packed away in my brain as being fact. Stop it. Nobody cares about Columbus. Nobody cares about Columbus. We don't care. This is a non-issue. Let them have it. What do you care? Jeez. Nope. I'm just looking around. Italians are trending. Italian Americans are trending. Vikings are there you go. Let's give the Vikings some love. Oh, there is a little fly. There is a fly on top of the computer that I use. He's just sitting there. He's a big fat one. And then there's a little one right on top of the camera. He is just sitting right on top of the camera. And I can't get him. I can't get him because that camera is expensive and I don't want to swat him. Oh, where you going? Get up. There he goes. Now he's good. Oh, whoa. Can you even pick up these flies on the screen? Like, can you see them when they're flying? One of them is very large. All right, I got nothing else. Oh, there was something funny I saw about flies this weekend. I don't know what it was. For those of you interested, I did get through the season premiere of Saturday Night Live before I watched this weekend's Saturday Night Live. Whatever. There are a couple of yucks. There was a joke about flies that I thought was funny. That was, I know what it was. It was, they did a news story on Weekend Update about some invasive species of fly that was eating all of the, crops or something. They were an invasive species. And, okay, why am I doing this? I don't know. I hate when people do this when they try and anyway, it was funny. It was funny. It was, they said, what about people who call you an invasive species? And the fly was like, invasive species? My family has been in this country for 10 generations. And they said, well, how long is that in human years? And the fly's like, 3-4 days. Wasn't worth it, was it? See, why did you do that? Well, I did that because it's not even 1:30 and I'm already out of stuff. I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to be it for the show tonight. We will do we're going to do a pillow talk tonight, so you can join me and Parker for Pillow Talk. That's at 9:00. Myself and James Parker. We go through stupid stuff. But that's about it. That's going to be about it here. There's nothing else. What? Rex, Orange County. What is that? Why is that trending? I got it right there. Do you see it? Do you see it? You see it, right? You see him. Oh, I was just going to get him. There you go. Hold on. How can I get him? No, go. Oh, you're going to have the nerve to land on my hand. Oh, I'll have to take a shower. You can see I have my hands full. My hands will be full here for the next 20 minutes as I chase multiple flies because the dog left the door open. That's it. What? Oh, there he is. There he is. I need a fly swatter. Hey, you know what they got over in the big house? Over in the big house, they got one of those electric fly swatters that looks like a tennis racket. I'm going to go get that. But I'm almost positive there's probably no batteries in it. What are you going to do? I have got my poetry. These flies are just taunting me. They are just one fly, two fly. They're both on my computer screen. Why are they? Ooh, I hate flies. They're gross. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out of here. We'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock. And then we'll see you again tomorrow. High noon. Monday through Friday. We do this every day. Just not a whole lot to talk about today. All right, other than that, I got to go. I love you guys. See you tonight at 9. I'm Pugs Moran. This has been High Noon on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. It has been a journey, a multi-answer test. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day, the best is yet to come. I have found a different... You guys, okay, so the whole time that I've been sitting here, the flies are now gone. They're gone. He's back. He's back. See him? All right. Runway, so baffling to some. I have got an old guitar. That is all I need. I don't need no 401. I don't have the greed. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. Go! Jesus! I am on a never-ending quest. I almost got him. Tomorrow is another day. Gotcha, you son of a... Yeah, that's it. Writhe in pain, you little bitch. And now I'm coming for your friends. 1 down, 2 to go. I can smile a little now. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is you son of a... Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. Oh, yeah. I'm saving you to last, you big, fat, slow housefly. I'm going to catch you and I'm a... Big, fat ones are easiest to catch. That's what she said.